Hey everyone, let's talk about calendars. They're pretty cool, right? They help us plan our days, know when to party, and basically keep our lives from being a jumbled mess. But have you ever wondered why we have a leap year? You know, that extra day we tack onto February every 4 years. It's not just some random thing, I promise. It's actually a clever trick to keep our calendar in sync with Earth's trip around the sun. Think about it. A year is the time it takes for Earth to make one full loop around the sun. But here's the catch. That loop takes a bit longer than 365 days. It's actually around 365 and a quarter days. Now, that quarter of a day might not seem like much, but over time it would really mess things up. Imagine celebrating summer in the middle of winter. Talk about a wardrobe malfunction. That's where leap years come in. By adding an extra day every 4 years, we make up for that lost time and keep our calendar matching up with the seasons. It's a simple fix that makes sure spring stays in spring and winter doesn't try to crash the summer pool party. Pretty neat, huh? Long before we had our fancy Gregorian calendar, there was the Julian calendar. This ancient calendar, created way back in 45 BCE by Julius Caesar, was a game changer. Before Caesar got involved, the Roman calendar was a total mess. It had 355 days, and every few years they just randomly threw in an extra month to try and line things up with the sun. Talk about confusing. Caesar wanted something better, something more accurate. So, he called in the big guns, an astronomer named Sosigenes. This guy knew his stuff when it came to the stars and planets. Sosigenes came up with a calendar based on the solar year, the time it takes for Earth to go around the sun. This new calendar, named after Caesar himself, had 365 days split into 12 months. Sound familiar? But the coolest part was the leap year. Sosigenes knew that the solar year was a bit longer than 365 days, so he added an extra day every 4 years. This extra day, stuck right into February, made sure the calendar year and Earth's orbit stayed on the same page. Genius! The Julian calendar, with its awesome leap year, worked pretty well for over 1600 years. But even the best systems can have a tiny flaw. You see, the Julian calendar assumed a year was exactly 365.25 days long. But in reality, it's slightly shorter than that. We're talking a difference of about 11 minutes and 14 seconds every year. Now you might think, big deal, what's a few minutes? But over centuries, those minutes added up. By the 16th century, the Julian calendar was off by about 10 days. This was a problem, especially for the Catholic Church, because it messed up the date of Easter, a very important holiday. So, in 1582, Pope Gregory XIII decided it was time for a calendar upgrade. He called on astronomer Aloysius Lilius and mathematician Christopher Clavius to fix things up. They came up with the Gregorian calendar, the one we use today. It kept most of the Julian calendar but tweaked the leap year rule. Instead of having a leap year every 4 years without fail, the Gregorian calendar added a rule for century years, the ones ending in 00. A century year is only a leap year if it's divisible by 400. It sounds a bit complicated, but this little change made the calendar super accurate, reducing the difference between the calendar year and the solar year to just 26 seconds a year. Ever wonder why we even need leap years? It all comes down to Earth's awesome but slightly wonky dance around the sun. You see, Earth's orbit isn't a perfect circle, it's more like an oval, which means the distance between Earth and the sun changes throughout the year. This, along with the tilt of Earth's axis, is what gives us the seasons. But it's the time it takes for Earth to travel around the sun that creates the need for leap years. That journey takes about 365.2422 days, a tad longer than the 365 days we usually count in a year. To keep our calendar on track, we add that extra day to February every 4 years. That's February 29th. The day that keeps us aligned with the solar year. Without leap years, our calendar would be a jumbled mess. We might end up celebrating summer holidays in the middle of winter. Can you imagine? Thanks to leap years, our calendar stays in sync with the seasons, making sure we celebrate spring in spring and winter in winter. The Gregorian calendar, with its fine-tuned leap year system, is the most popular calendar in the world. But it's not the only one out there. Different cultures have their own calendars, some with different leap year rules or unique ways of staying in sync with the sun. For example, the Islamic calendar is a lunar calendar, meaning it's based on the cycles of the moon. It has 12 lunar months, adding up to about 354 days. This means the Islamic calendar doesn't have leap years like ours. Instead, the Islamic year shifts about 11 days earlier compared to the Gregorian calendar each year. Then there's the Hebrew calendar used in Judaism. It's a lunisolar calendar, meaning it combines both lunar months and solar years. To keep it aligned with the sun, this calendar adds an extra month 7 times every 19 years. It's fascinating how different cultures have developed their own ways of tracking time. While the Gregorian calendar is widely used, these other calendars show us that there are many ways to keep track of the sun's journey and the changing seasons. Leap years, with their extra day, have inspired all sorts of fun traditions and superstitions around the world. One of the most famous is the tradition of women proposing to men on February 29th. This custom, believed to have started in 5th century Ireland, turns the tables on traditional marriage proposals and lets women take charge. Legend has it that St. Bridget of Kildare, a patron saint of Ireland, asked St. Patrick to let women propose to men. St. Patrick, being a good sport, agreed and declared that women could propose on Leap Day, February 29th. Another leap year belief is that babies born on February 29th are extra lucky or talented. These leaplings, or leap day babies, are said to have a unique perspective on life and a knack for standing out from the crowd. While some leap year traditions, like women proposing, are celebrated with joy, others are surrounded by superstition. Some cultures believe leap years are unlucky or bring bad omens. These beliefs, often passed down through generations, add a touch of mystery to the leap year. Leap years might seem like a small detail, but they play a big role in keeping our lives organized. They remind us that our calendar, while seemingly fixed, is actually connected to Earth's journey around the sun. Without leap years, our calendar would get all messed up. Imagine celebrating Christmas in the middle of summer or Thanksgiving in spring. Leap years, with that extra day, make sure our calendar stays in sync with Earth's orbit and the natural rhythm of the seasons. But leap years are more than just a practical fix. They represent human ingenuity, our ability to observe, understand and adapt to the natural world. From the ancient astronomers who first realized we needed leap years to the scientists today who fine-tune our calendars, the leap year embodies our ongoing quest to measure and make sense of time. So, there you have it. The leap year, a quirky little quirk in our calendar that holds a lot of significance. It represents our understanding of Earth's journey around the sun, our ability to keep our calendars in sync with the cosmos, and our knack for finding clever solutions to natural phenomena. It's a reminder of our place in the universe, our ingenuity in measuring time, and our endless fascination with the passage of time. So, the next time February rolls around with an extra day, take a moment to appreciate the leap year. It's not just an extra 24 hours, it's a celebration of human ingenuity and our connection to the cosmos.